Game Rant recently posted this article, 5 biomes we hope to see in Valheim soon. And I thought it'd make kind of an interesting video and interesting discussion topic to look at potential new biomes in the future of Valheim. So let's see what the 5 are that they suggest, and do let me know down in the comments if you think these would be good ideas or bad ideas, or maybe you have some ideas of your own. This video is sponsored by G-Portal, who host servers for a huge range of games at affordable prices. If you'd like to check them out and save yourself 10%, there is a link in the description. So the first one they mention here is Niflheim, and I have to say the graphic for it definitely looks kind of cool. Some sort of big structure though, more than a biome, but let's see what they say about the biome. It says takes players to a dark, demon-filled realm. Seems like a no-brainer at this point. So I guess kind of like going to hell or going to the nether in Minecraft perhaps. With the addition of larger dungeon-like areas in the Frost Caves update, Valheim has already shown it's capable of offering terrifying subterranean encounters, but a biome that takes players to a version of Niflheim from Norse mythology would ratchet up the intensity one step further and make for a perfect late-game biome. So let me go ahead and Google what Niflheim actually is a second. Well, there you go. It says they're ruled by the goddess Hel, so I'm guessing that's where we get the word hell from today. But it says it's a cold, dark, misty world of the dead. So yeah, sounds pretty hellish, or at least pretty demonic. By the way, I am going to say I'm probably completely slaughtering the pronunciation of that, and I do apologize, but Niflheim is what I'm going to go with. They talk about the idea here of having, different enemies, materials, and other items and stuff like that. So that could be, yeah, it could be kind of cool. What I like is the idea of having to build some sort of special portal in Valheim that takes you to a whole other world, a whole other dimension. I think that could be a really cool way of adding biomes into the game in the future. Okay, next is this one, and you know what, I'm gonna have to Google how to pronounce this first. So apparently the way you say this is Yggdrasil. If anyone knows, please let me know how I did in the comments. But of course, we already see this in the Valheim game. It's that giant tree-looking thing up in the sky when you look up in game. And at the moment, you can indeed fly up and get onto this tree, and you can walk around on it. So that's kind of cool. And I guess if they wanted to add and make it like more interactive, they've kind of already got a bit of a framework to build off. Now this says the biome could force players to fight for their footing on the massive branches in the sky, or take them to a subterranean world in the roots of the tree. Now I think both are kind of a really good idea actually. It could almost have like a circular sort of biome where the tree goes up into the sky and then back down into the earth and sort of connects up in like basically like a giant circle. Maybe there could be some special loot items up there and you have to kind of parkour to get them, and obviously if you fall it's going to be falling to your death. Or maybe they could add things up there that you could, different mobs or things like that you could fight to get special loot, or even just allow us to build up there. It could be kind of cool. So definitely an interesting idea, and I'd like to know what you guys think of that one. Now this one, just from the title and the picture right there, I already love the idea, a coastal city. And the article says this would most likely be one of the most engaging biomes, and I have to agree. If there was this NPC style village, perhaps coastal city village, I think that could be really, really cool. It'd be an awesome place to sort of go and live, maybe trade with NPCs, or maybe even build your base there, and you might not feel so lonely in a single player world. You could live there with the NPCs. Or better yet, if you could get them to kind of be like slaves for you, to farm for you, or to smelt things for you, or things like that, that would be really awesome. But I certainly would love to see this type of biome, and you could actually extend this as well. You could have different NPC villages all over the place, not just coastal cities, but throughout the different biomes. Now I'm going to cue the comments telling me that this isn't Minecraft. I do appreciate that. But let's not forget the game generated cities or villages or things like that, structures in general and NPCs and that kind of thing are not exclusive to Minecraft, and I think they are a great addition to any survival game. So this is number 4 out of 5, but I probably should have finished with it given that this is desert. Yeah, okay, that was terrible. And I know it's desert, by the way. Desert biome. Let's move on. So a desert biome, on the face of it, maybe doesn't sound that interesting. Just a big, flat, sandy area. But let's see what they say and what we think of this one. So they're talking at the bottom here, the structures, enemies, and materials found in deserts have been explored in countless other titles, and Iron Gate could simply pull from sources like ancient Egypt. So yes, I think if you had the right sort of generation within these deserts, they could be cool. For example, abandoned villages might be really nice. And you could have some sort of desert temples or desert cities, maybe sort of like, they talk about ancient Egypt, maybe some abandoned Egyptian cities, or even like Mayan or Aztec sort of style villages. Basically, just some sort of ancient ruins you could explore and get cool loot would be awesome. And perhaps as well, some different types of loot you can get only in the desert. And let's not forget as well, if they had a desert and they had sand, which could be collected, that could add a ton of things to the game. I mean, for example, what about if they just added sandstone and you had all the stone structures you currently have in the game, but they're more of a yellowish, orangish sort of color to make them out of sandstone? Now, I'm going to be honest, I think the picture might have let this one down a bit. They're talking about a tropical biome, and we have a boat in the middle of an ocean. Yeah. Now, if they did an actual tropical biome, I would love it. I actually talked in the past about how I'd love to see a rainforest added to Valheim. Now, I definitely appreciate this doesn't really seem overly Viking themed. Rainforest and Vikings, at least to me, they don't exactly go hand in hand. However, rainforest can be incredibly dense and filled with all different things. You could have such a variety of crops and trees and new blocks and new mobs and new structures that really excites me. So I would like to see a biome like that. I think absolutely it would have to be done in the right way, and maybe to make it more Viking, instead of your typical sort of rainforest that's, all bright and colorful, maybe you'd have a dead rainforest, a rainforest that had died. It'd be kind of like the swamp, but maybe with more going on and some new unique loot and that sort of thing. I don't know. I'm just kind of, chucking ideas out there. But again, let me know what you think. So the dad jokes are, of course, coming, guys. A bit of a different video today, just talking about these different biomes when I found this article. As I said, I think it's a reasonably interesting discussion point. I'd love to know what you guys think, so let me know down in the comments. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and here come the dad jokes. The Middle Ages were called the Dark Ages because there were too many nights. Why can you never lock a piano out of a room? Because they have every key. The wedding was so beautiful that even the cake was in tears. There's a fine line between a numerator and a denominator.